What's up, YouTube? This Autumn. We back with that heat. We got a banger video. Edot gone but not forgotten. Special tribute. We finna go ahead and see their boy Tom. But we want to say R.I.P. to Edot again. We finna go ahead and see what this video talking about. Before we get in the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Drop that in the comments. So banger song, banger video. Tell us we got 2 next channel. 2 5 stars. Skip that. Yeah. All right, gang. We're gonna get to the video. Let's get it. Go.
When I do music, when I'm behind that camera shooting a video, that's when I feel the happiest. That's when I'm in my happiest place. That's why I do music, for me.
Before he would tragically pass away at the age of only 17 years old, rapper Edot Baby would be born.
Would you feel like that's how people do music, to get it all off their chest and stuff?
I do feel like
yeah.
Because everybody cope different.
Yeah.
Me working out is my way, or cleaning up is my way.
Yeah, so people, yeah, for sure.
Elijah Irvin on February 6, 2005 in New York City's Harlem Hospital, to his mother Tanya Gabriel, a hairstylist, and his father Vincent Irvin. Thanks to the name he'd make for himself incredibly early on as a promising drill rapper, most people tend to think that Edot came from the Bronx, but in point of fact, he was raised in Harlem.
Most of the Bronx niggas was rapping type shit, and like all the Bronx niggas started rapping, I was rapping then too, so yeah. It made it look like, for me, like, oh, he part of this wave type. Because I was just a young, for me, I looked similar to all of them, for me, and I was from Manhattan.
Now, the last time we told Edot's story, we got our information a little bit mixed up and said that he was raised by a legal guardian named Tiffany Taylor. Now, that was our mistake and one we're looking to rectify. Tiffany is actually Edot's sister, and while he considered her both a sibling and a mother figure, his actual mom, Tanya, as well as his father, both maintained a meaningful presence in his life as well.
Did you know Google makes a phone?
I can't believe he was 17 though.
But it does things other phones can't do, which is how it helps take annoying items out of pictures. At a young age. Introducing our newest Google Pixel phones.
They got it with 2 ads, bro. 2 ads, bro.
That person in the picture, that was my sister for me.
Yeah.
That's my blood sister for me. So she was like, I ain't gonna lie, she like a sister mom to me too. Like, for me, she really look out for me. So I guess they got it confused.
Growing up in Sugar Hill alongside his older siblings, not only the aforementioned Tiffany, but Jordan and Larice as well, Edot doesn't believe his story is all that different from most his age, who spent their childhood in the hood. Despite his surroundings, he was a pretty chill kid who didn't get himself into a whole lot of trouble. For the most part, he occupied his days by hanging out in the park with his neighborhood friends, playing baseball and basketball. And when it
Bro, I just feel like New York is always on the court, bro. Like on the court.
I think New York is only known for basketball and baseball.
Basketball, bro.
But I think most of basketball.
Despite his surroundings, he was a pretty chill kid who didn't get himself into a whole lot of trouble. For the most part, he occupied his days by hanging out in the park with his neighborhood friends, playing baseball and basketball. And when it came time for school, he originally attended classes at Community Health Academy of the Heights. But after getting into a number of fights in the schoolyard, he was eventually transferred to Middle School 324, before moving on to Capital Preparatory High School to complete his education. With all that moving around, Edot never really found his footing in school. He didn't mind math, but when asked, he told us his fondest memory involved bringing a whole bunch of weed in the class his freshman year, only to then freak out because the smell was so pungent. Eventually, a teacher caught on and he got himself into a bit of trouble, but hey, at least he didn't get expelled. Edot would only wind up finishing 1 year of high school before the pandemic hit and totally changed his life around, giving him the opportunity to focus on his dreams. You see, growing up, Elijah looked up to rappers like Young Thug, Rich Homie Quan, and Lil Wayne, consuming a number of their music videos on digital.
No cap, bro. Lil Wayne is the...
I'm not gonna cap. That's a good 3 to listen to growing up.
For sure. Lil Wayne is like powerful, bro. No cap.
Platforms like Vivo. Remember Vivo? But it wasn't just a desire to be like his idols that motivated Elijah to become a musician. It was also his desire to better himself as well.
I chill with people older than me. Like, I don't really chill with people my age, so I'm chilling with people older than me, so I'm at their mindset, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how I gotta move. I gotta move older. I can't move like a 16-year-old.
When he first started rapping as a kid with his older day ones, most of them only took part to pass the time. It was all fun and games to them, but for Elijah, it was a little bit different. When it was his turn to lay down a verse, he'd crowd around a little monitor with his blue snowball mic in his bedroom and record one bar after another. Eventually, he found his way to a local studio, but his life outside on the streets would continue to pull him back and get in the way of his progress. Alongside a number of his friends, Edot would wind up in and out of jail for robberies, assaults, and other minor crimes. Then, 4 of his best friends got caught up in some more serious charges, and Elijah finally recognized that he needed to get more serious about music if he didn't want to wind up the same way.
It's like my block, we don't got no projects, no nothing. It's just a whole bunch of young bad.
So you one of them young bad?
For me, I just happen to, fall into the trap. You come outside, you never go back home.
All of this is to say that, like most people forced into a less than ideal situation, Elijah wanted more for himself. More money, more life, and more happiness. And he was determined to become one of the few from his block to actually achieve this dream. With the support of his family and close personal friends like Roscoe, Hemi, D, Benzo, 30, and Keem, Elijah hit the studio and concentrated his efforts solely on creating his first hit song, Ready for War. In the lyrics to that track, he'd spit, "She like Edot, baby." He did so as a third-person reference to himself. You know, as if a shorty just so happened to be calling him baby. For whatever reason, it caught on with his developing fan base, and from that point forward, he embraced the name of Edot Baby. Soon thereafter, Ready for War would take off in early 2020, when Edot was still only 15 years old. Over the span of the next 2 years, the music video to that track would earn nearly 3.5 million views on YouTube, as well as another 3 million.
Bro, that's a goat, bro. Right. You go ahead and drop that song, you get a milli, bro?
You made it like 3.5 million?
Yeah, bro. Like,
at the age of 15.
15, bro. That's gonna motivate you to keep pushing. No kizzy, no cap, bro. You got it on lock.
Off in early 2020, when Edot was still only 15 years old. Over the span of the next 2 years, the music video to that track would earn nearly 3.5 million views on YouTube, as well as another 3 million streams on Spotify. Having now made an undeniable impact, Edot knew it wasn't time to let up. He continued to unleash one single after another, with titles like War Cry, Different Shit, and the hit single, Ride the O. He also collaborated with other big-time drill artists like Busy Banks and Leaky G Bando on singles such as Demonstrate and James Bond. Then in December of 2020, he dropped his debut EP, fittingly titled The Baby in the Game. The following year wouldn't bring any downtime as he continued to record and release popular songs like Finish the War, Snapback, and Rundown Gang, all of which would go on to earn Edot hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube, as his name continued to work its way up the ranks of drill music. Then, in March of 2022, Edot would release his first full-fledged studio album, a project titled E with the Dot, featuring his good friend Shai K on the single 3-peat and what would become his most successful song in We Back Part 2, boasting an assist from D Play for keeps. Edot Baby was proving with each new release that he simply couldn't miss. Somehow, he even found time to record a second studio album in that same calendar year, this one titled You Started, I Finished, which dropped at the tail end of September in 2022. Most recently, he uploaded a brand new single titled Faster to his YouTube channel, which earned over 200,000 views.
Just know he was on his grind, bro. He was on his grind for sure. That's why y'all just basically telling us he was on his grind.
Did any of us know at the time that just over a month later, Edot Baby would be gone? Late on November 3rd, 2022, some extremely troubling rumors.
He was on his grind for sure with the music.
At Guitar Center.
Okay.
Began making the rounds across the internet. It began with a post from media company Please Don't Lack, who informed their audience on social media that Edot Baby had passed away at the age of only 17 years old. At the point of this recording, the circumstances surrounding his death are not exactly clear. That being said, it's widely believed that Edot's body was found alone in his apartment, and that the general consensus is that he tragically took his own life after dealing with a number of mental health issues. Apparently, late that Thursday night, his battle became too much for him to bear.
I don't even care about the music no more. I care about, the music give me mad and shit. It really happened.
With such little information out there right now about what happened, there's little point in speculating any further as to the details of what exactly happened and why. The only thing left to do now is reinforce how tragic a conclusion this is for such a promising young artist who was clearly going places. In response to the news, a number of Edot's friends and collaborators have come forward to mourn his passing, including his friend Shai K, revealed that the news hurt him so deeply he doesn't even want to think about performing right now. He then reminded others to constantly check on their friends and to make sure that they're doing okay. Busy Banks would also post a tribute to Edot, bemoaning the fact that he eventually let politics get in the way of their relationship, and now it's too late to do anything about it. And then there's young drill rapper Didi Osama, who'd post a number of images, all of them memorializing his friend, and even going so far to update his Instagram bio with a hashtag reading, Long live King Dot. And again, I do want to stress, while rumors do suggest that Edot took his own life, the exact nature of his passing has yet to be outright confirmed. Regardless of what happened though, this is an unbelievably sad ending to a once promising story, and we here at Before They Were Famous want to send our deepest condolences to Elijah's friends and family. His incredible talent will most definitely be missed, but at the very least, We all got a chance to experience his music and celebrate his accomplishments for the short period of time that he was still with us. If you or anybody else you know need help and are looking for a kind ear to listen, you can contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK or text 741-741 to get in touch with the crisis text line.
I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I'm not even gonna hold y'all, bro. I just know Brody was on his grind for sure, but you know what I'm saying, with a lot of things that we didn't know that was getting to him, his mental and stuff that was getting to him, but bro, long live Edot, bro, long live Edot. I know it's a sad pull on a lot of the, but I ain't gonna lie, y'all, if y'all like this reaction video, before we know this video, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, y'all in the comments, some banger songs, banger videos y'all see us react to next day on the road 2,000 cause let's get it, gang.